Hey everyone, it's Ashley and I'm back with a Dollar Tree project, and this time I'm going to show you how you can make a candy cane wreath using burlap ribbon, so stay tuned. So for this project you'll need not very many items actually. You'll just need a hot glue gun, a few extra glue sticks, a pair of scissors, a wire candy cane wreath form, and some burlap ribbon. I chose this wired burlap ribbon from Walmart. It was on clearance for 75 cents at the register and it's really lovely. You can also substitute the burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. They have a variety of colors and styles. And also this linen ribbon I found at Walmart for $1. So I'm going to use that for the bow and this for the base of the candy cane. So for the first step of this tutorial, we're going to take the wired ribbon and we're going to place it so that only half is showing along the bottom here. The other half will be hanging off. And the reason for this is we want to cover the end of the wreath. So what we'll do is take this, leave a little bit extra hanging down, and we're going to fold this over so that it goes on the back about almost halfway there. You can see how it looks there. And what we're going to do is hot glue this piece here in place so it stays and it gives a nice finished look to the bottom of the wreath itself. And after you finish that portion, what we're going to do is take the remainder of this ribbon and we're going to start wrapping it around the candy cane itself, and we're going to slightly overlap it so that there's no ends showing through. Make sure as you're working to hold the wired burlap tight so that way it doesn't move off of the frame, and just continue working in kind of a diagonal direction, and that way it stays nice and firmly attached to the wreath. Okay, now that we're to the end portion here, I'm going to hot glue this down and then fold this over and hot glue it as well so we get a nice finished product at the end. To complete this wreath took approximately 10 feet of ribbon, so if you're going to use a shorter length of ribbon, make sure that you hot glue one into place with the other one so that you just continue the same process as you go along. The next step is if there's any irregularities in the burlap, you can go ahead and cut that off if you want a cleaner look. I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's a couple spots here that I think would look nicer without that. For this next step, I'm going to go ahead and make a very classic ribbon. You've probably seen me make it on a few other arrangements, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it so you know if this is your first time. So what you're going to do is cut a length of ribbon approximately 5 to 6 inches, and you're going to use that for the center tie for your ribbon. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that and set that aside. And the next step is to unravel some of this ribbon, and what we're going to do is start working on a bow. So to start the bow, you're going to want to figure out how long of a length of ribbon that you want for the tails. So I'm going to leave kind of long tails on this one because I want to make sure I have plenty to work with later. So I'm going to leave that long of a tail, and what I'm going to do is form a little loop here. I use my hand as a basis of measurement because it's a really easy kind of accurate way to get the same result each time. So you just pinch that there. And then what you're going to do is create another loop. So this is the right hand side of the loop. And then you're going to bring this piece over like a traditional bow right there and hold it there and test to see if this is the same length. So this one needs to go in just slightly, so it's about the same length. So right there. So as you can see, we have that piece right there. the next one is you're going to create another loop. So I'm going to measure another loop here. So it's about the right size. And then you're going to hold it there. And then we're going to take this behind it and bring it forward, and we're creating another loop here. It basically forms almost an X shape, and that looks about right. And then you're going to hold it in the middle here. So you have a very, very long tail on one side and the regular tail on this side. So as you can see, there's that kind of X shape right there. And you're going to hold it in the middle, and between those two, you're going to pinch it like that. And then your next step is to take your wired ribbon, and you're going to put it around the front of the ribbon here. And you're going to turn it around and tie a little knot on the back. And because it's wired, it will stay in place pretty well. Generally, you don't have to worry about double knotting it. Okay. So now that we have that piece, because this is a wired ribbon, what we can do next is kind of fluff up the bow and give it a little bit more volume. So I'm going to go ahead and fluff up the bow so it looks nice and pretty. So now that the bow is complete, what you're going to want to do is cut the edges on the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and do a little dovetail cut. So I'm going to cut up towards the middle, and then do that on the remaining side. Or if you want a quicker result, just fold it in half and cut at an angle, and you'll still get the same result there. And you can also add fray check to the ends, and that way you make sure that the ends don't fray at all. Now we're on to the fun stage of the preparations, which is the decorating. I'm really excited about this part because Dollar Tree has some of the most beautiful ornaments for $1 that I've ever seen. And this one in particular caught my eye. It is so lovely and rustic. They have 3 different colors. There's a blue one that's just a plain burlap, and one that's a red one. And I thought this would be such a striking contrast. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one as well. I'm going to layer this in with the bow on the wreath, and that way we get a really lovely effect to it, and it'll look a lot more detailed and custom. So the first step is to decide where we want the bow on this, and I really like it right around here. I think it's very pretty. It gives it just enough length for the bottom, and it just kind of highlights the candy cane shape. So that's where we want to apply that one. And then this one we'll have to look at and decide where we want to apply it. I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it down behind the ribbon so that this hangs down just slightly. And that way we get the nice pop of color without interfering with the bow. So the next step is to hot glue everything down, and I'm going to go ahead and start with hot gluing this piece down, and then we'll work on hot gluing the bow. So after you finish hot gluing the bow down, you're going to take the ends and you can place this kind of behind this so that way the snowflake shows up and is highlighted behind it. And just make sure to fix your bow so that it's in its best shape possible. So for this next step, what I did is I took some leftover ribbon, approximately about 3 feet of ribbon, and I just created a loop with the nicest side facing out. And what we're going to do to hang it is just place this over the top edge of the door and use a thumbtack to hold it down. And that way you have just a really pretty, nice, clean line when you go to hang it up. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you're interested in any more candy cane wreath tutorials, I have several other ones in the works for you very soon. And if you want more Dollar Tree ideas and decor for your home, check out my Facebook group. It's Dollar Tree DIYs and Decor. I'll leave a link in the description box for you. And I hope you guys have a great week.